like I always say, if you're not down with the bullshit and you're down with the real shit, like and subscribe. Man, you look what's been going on like the last few weeks, man. I mean, damn. Kanye, Kyrie, Irving, different people been speaking out, expressing their views on, how they feel about what's been going on with them. Then those people, based upon whoever or whatever entities that they work for, or corporations, that made them have to apologize for statements that they made. You've been seeing a lot of apologizing these last few weeks. You know what I'm saying? Kanye had to apologize. Kyrie had to apologize. Jalen Rose had to apologize. Like, it's crazy. And all these black prominent athletes, rappers, singers, whoever, actors, they're coming out and they're telling you how, these people who control all these corporate entities that they're involved in with business deals, that, they have to toe the line. They have to basically, play the role that's meant for them to play. I made a video like once before, like quite some time back, where I said, bottom line, when you get into the entertainment field, the only thing that they care about is that you push the narrative, the political narratives, things of that matter, and product, and so that's what entertainers really are for. When you get up there and you start thinking like, oh, okay, because I got a voice, I'm somebody now because I'm famous, a lot of people see me. Let me speak on different views, political views that I have, religious views that I have. No, that's not what the hell they want you to do. Now, you have the famous people who will look at it, and some other people might try to look at it from outside of that and say, well, they do have a right to have a voice. They have a right to have an opinion. Why are they stopping them from saying what they want to say? And, the whole thing about it is, it's the system. A lot of people will come online. You'll see people on TV, in different documentaries, and they will reveal and break down like what this whole thing really is about. Okay, if you know that, you have certain groups of people, certain entities, where like they have this controlling hand over sports, over all types of media, music, uh, then why don't you guys put your money together and just form your own sports leagues, make your own record companies, production companies, and break away from these entities that you have broke down, explained that these people have bad business dealings, as far as how they deal with the talent that makes them all the money, primarily like how they explain in music. The artist only gets a 10% share, even though the artist is the one that went into the studio, created the music, created the lyrics, created the song, and all they did was just package it and market it, and they get more of the money from what was created, which you, namely the artist, did. You know, they get more money than you. You know what I'm saying? But this business practice has been going on for like decades. And the athletes have always been talking about how the owners get most of the money. I mean, like they used to talk about how, like, in the three major sports leagues, how the players didn't even get any of the money from the jersey sales that have their name on them. That's crazy. That's like they own you. They own your name. When you sign that contract, they own you. I remember being like a little kid and walking in Sears, and I was looking and I was like, why do these clothes say property of the Dallas Cowboys, property of the 49ers, property of the Raiders, property? I was like, why does it say that? And I remember I asked my mom, and she didn't really know. But I was looking at it, and I was like, I was a little kid, and I was conscious of the fact that, it's saying property of. So I was like, so whoever wears this jersey, are they property of this team? I was understanding it as a little kid. We're talking about like 7, 9 years old, like that. It's like something that's weird, you know. And then I found out when I got a little bit older that, in a sense, systematically, that's really what it is. Because that's not on those practice jerseys and everything for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Property up. No, they're not talking about the gear itself or something like that. Like that's something that's theirs and you have to give back at the end of the day or something like that. Like, no. That's BS. You know, the pros are not like college and high school and middle school, junior high, stuff like that, where like you wear your uniform as long as you play for the team. And after the season's over, you got to give the uniform and the practice jersey and all that stuff, all that stuff back. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. And it's like, but man, that's their mentality. I mean, you look at the NBA with the guy who used to own the Los Angeles Clippers, Donald Sterling. The whole thing that went down with Donald Sterling when he made the remarks where that woman he was dealing with, was taping him and everything about what he was saying. It looked like it was some kind of setup to me, to be totally honest. But for some reason, I mean, even though what he said, expressing his disdain for black men, racial views that he had towards Magic Johnson. That was all wrong, and he got exposed for that. But what I'm saying is, Donald Sterling had owned the Clippers like for up until that point, like what, over 2 decades. The whole thing about it is, you heard Elgin Baylor, who was the general manager, speak out, said that he knew that Donald Sterling was racist. You had former players that talked about they knew Donald Sterling was racist. And so if they knew that he was racist, different owners around the league knew Donald Sterling was racist. The commissioner, David Stern, knew Donald Sterling was racist. Everybody knew he was racist. The only reason why they got him out of there for his racial views that he said was because it was taped and recorded and it got exposed. And so that lets you know that that doesn't really affect them, or they really feel for the players that are 75% black in the league, like they claim. That's like more of a front, because they knew Donald Sterling was a racist. They knew he was. They could have got rid of him a long time ago, if that was the fact, if they really cared, if it was really that big of a problem. But he got to walk away with $2 billion, selling the team to Steve Ballmer. They set that up so he could still walk away. This man still walked away with respect and dignity. The hell with it. I got $2 billion. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? What was it? He paid like back in 1982, the early 80s or something like that. When he bought the Los Angeles Clippers, he was only like, what was it? So many millions, and that turns into $2 billion. Man, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying that the thing that people should be looking at, players should be looking at, that's really prominent, is how you guys are speaking out. If you understand the game, you understand the system, and you see how things work, and understand this, like I said, this system has been in place for like decades. We know multiple decades. I mean, probably like close to 100 years now. The practice of Hollywood, the sports leagues, okay, why don't you guys like all say, hey, let's put our money together and create our own league. Let's start our own business. Let's walk away from this. Let's go. Because if you guys all do that, what are they going to do talent-wise? Honestly, what are they going to do? They can't replace all you guys like that. They'll be replacing you with subpar talent, and they might get away with like, generating some revenues like early on, just because people who are diehard, people who want to see there are different these different teams in these different sports leagues and the players and everything. Just because people who really are diehard sports enthusiasts, they will still tune in in the early beginning, but when they see that the level of talent is not as good as the players that they were used to seeing. If LeBron step away, like in basketball, he steps away. Steph steps away. Giannis, he steps away. You know, all the great guys. Joel Embiid, they just say, "Hey, we're not playing in this league no more. We're not playing in the NBA no more. No, we're about to put our heads together. We're about to go and create our own league." Okay, the owners might look at that and say, "Fine, go ahead. We'll get some more black dudes in here and stuff that'll play. Who will give them opportunities." And they'll be getting guys, I guess, off the street. They'll be bringing in a lot of these college guys. I guess it'll be the whole bunch of one and done guys coming into the league to try to, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work. They're going to wind up losing money because people sooner or later, they'll just, more sooner than later, they'll just stop tuning in. You won't have good, efficient players, and that goes for NBA if they did it in the NFL, if they did it in baseball, which they have in early history have tried to do this. So this is nothing new. This has happened, and there were a lot of people who really did not like the poor product that was being put out on these fields and these courts and stuff. And so, it wasn't the fan base was not there like that. And so I think that's what more so is being shown. It really comes down to put up or shut up, because you can complain. It's like people out on the street protesting. But if, the powers that be, the people that's supposed to be in control, look and they just think, well, this is all they're going to do. They're just going to keep protesting. They're just going to keep complaining. Okay. If that's all you're going to do, that's not going to make anybody necessarily give you the money you want, give you the respect that you want, and give you the control of you yourself and the product that you created. That's not going to make that happen. So, until you do something that's more directly, hitting them in the pocket, they're never going to respect what's going on. So I think that's what everybody needs to more so take away from what the recent news and events that's been going on with these athletes and musicians. It's time for black people to just create their own, own their own, do their own. It's all about own, and not asking somebody else to support your ideas and pay you pennies for them to own your idea, or to basically have ownership over your talent. Whether you can play or not. Yeah. So it's about stop complaining. It's time to start owning. Peace.